You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
In uncertain times, we could use someone to lean on. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma will stand by you with plan options to fit your budget. If you've recently lost your job, had a baby, or moved, you can still get the healthcare coverage you and your family need. Financial help may be available for those who qualify. Call 855-452-BLUE or visit hereforyouok.com to see if you're eligible to enroll. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is, if getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
If you prefer real mornings, shouldn't you have a real breakfast? At McDonald's, we get real about breakfast. That's why you can have a savory sausage biscuit with delicious hash browns for only $1.50. It's time to wake up breakfast. Single item at regular price. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
And welcome into the program, ladies and gentlemen. I am Rick Robinson. She's Stacey Lennox. This is the Whatever Show, and we are your opening act for Chat Lives Matter Night right here on KLRN Radio. We do this every Wednesday night, usually starting at around 7 p.m. Eastern, usually with this show right here, the Whatever Show. Don't forget, this is Toxic Night, so instead of the conservative curmudgeons directly after us, we Toxic Masculinity with myself, G, Ordy, Andrew, and Aggie, and our Babe of the Month. Anyway, so how are you, Stacey? I'm feeling.
Wow, you sound so, I don't know, energized.
Hey, it's been a long work day for me. I actually started trying to get up early because I had deadlines to meet. And I've put in lots of work today, and I still have about 5 or 6 more hours to go before my night is over. So yeah, I may sound a little less enthused than normal, but it's not really because I'm not. It's just because I'm tired. That and I did I mention that even I, as a political junkie, am kind of to the point where I just don't even give a crap anymore? I don't know how to reconcile that, because I am a political animal, and I can't stand this cycle already. I'm just done. I don't know how to reconcile
Well, buckle up, my friend, because it will be the longest election cycle on record, because the primary on the Republican side is essentially over.
Oh, I know. Well, I mean, you can't really tell that to Nikki Haley, though, because she's still hoping to pull off some sort of miracle on Super Tuesday, because there's so many open primaries that she's hoping she's going to be able to pull in some numbers. I don't really see it happening, but hey, I mean, you know.
What I actually think she's doing is collecting enough delegates to say that if something happens to Trump, she's owed the nomination.
Well, you know, I mean, she's already mirroring Hillary in a lot of ways, so that wouldn't surprise me either.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. But yeah.
It's her turn.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite thing, and this absolutely drives me crazy, because as a group of people that tell everybody how tired we are of identity politics, to hear a presidential candidate say, I'm going to wish everybody luck, but may the best woman win. Hello, isn't that identity politics? I thought we hated that. I'm confused. Because I know I don't like it. I thought we kind of decided we hated that as a group. Well, I haven't. I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know.
All I know is we can't have nice things, because while Trump continues to lose, DeSantis continues to win, and yet he's not the nominee. Somebody needs to fire up CERN again and fix what's broken. That's where I am as of right now, because this timeline isn't as much fun as I thought it was going to be. Although I did like reading about DeSantis slapping the mouse around again. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, well, Disney just can't beat the man. What can you say?
I mean, when a group that was tongue-in-cheek in several different cartoon shows over my lifetime depicted as a secret organization trying to take over the world is being slapped around by a guy from Florida, why isn't he our nominee? Because he should be. I know that's a sore subject for a lot of folks, but I'm just saying.
Well, he's not our nominee for a couple of reasons, but we've already rehashed all of that.
Oh, I know. I'm just, I don't know. After reading that today, I'm just like,
well,
you know.
Well, you know what's killing me at this point?
All of the above.
Honestly.
What's killing me?
All of the above. And I'm having a hard time getting enthusiastic about this election cycle because whatever. But I mean, there's plenty of issues that still get me all fired up, right? Like, okay, Georgia, you're passing school choice this year. Stop it. Anyway, so there's still issues I get fired up about. Medical freedom, right? That's something I'm very passionate about.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting here watching idiots like Jack Posobiec and the MAGA overlords getting like so stupid about Taylor Swift. It's like it's almost like they think Donald Trump is running against Taylor Swift at this point.
I don't really know what they're
And
doing.
I just want to grab them by the shirt front and say, do you guys understand the Streisand effect? Like, Taylor Swift endorsed Joe Biden in 2020. Nobody paid attention. She helped a Senate candidate in Tennessee run a campaign against Marsha Blackburn. I don't even remember his name. That's how politically effective Taylor Swift is, because she's 34 years old, acts like she's 17, and her core audience is between 14 and 16.
Oh,
so
I know.
Unless you would like to make Taylor Swift a tour de force in the political arena, just stop talking about her.
Well, an interesting thing has come out about that, though, because everybody started talking about it, and everybody's been talking about it for a while and just kind of wondered. Because for the longest time, she wouldn't speak anywhere publicly about politics, and then all of a sudden she did, and it was shortly before the 2020 election cycle. And it turns out that she let slip sometime before that 2020 election cycle that George Soros, now by proxy, owns all of her music. So I'm kind of wondering if that might not have something to do with it. I kind of feel like she may be feeling like she's blackmailed. Because she didn't used to talk about politics at all. And then all of a sudden she is. And everybody's like, what the hell? And then at a speech for an award ceremony, she actually pointed out that an entire group of people without her consent bought her music, and that Soros is heavily tied into that group. And that was right about the same time that she started speaking out against Trump. So I'm just one of those connect the dots kind of people. I'm starting to wonder how many of these people that are speaking out in pro-Democrat ways and pro-communist ways are people that Soros has managed to gobble up their livelihood. Now they feel like they don't have a choice.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. It's just yeah. I see like the funny conspiracy theories about her being a CIA asset, and I just want to laugh because that is funny, right?
Well, you think it's funny until you listen to Juxtaposition, and then you realize that's been done before. So
I understand that's been done before, but here we have a girl whose entire career is written about the fact that she can't have an adult relationship that's successful, and dates a guy, is really public about it, it's the love of her life, and then she makes millions off a breakup song. So this is just her pattern. She's been doing this her entire life. She's going to be a billionaire cat lady if she doesn't straighten her shit out. Okay? And yeah, I just okay, yeah, you're right. They completely developed Taylor Swift as a megastar so she could support Joe Biden in 2020 and F up the election. No, because that would have required them identifying her as a child. So let's not.
Well, have they not targeted children before, though? Just throwing that out there.
My goodness.
I'm just saying. I mean, since I talked about this earlier, I have it on good authority that apparently Taylor Swift suffers from a disorder called Nasidol. So I don't know, because somebody pointed out she has a dude's butt, which I call Nasidol, short for no acetol. In the chat
I
earlier.
suffer from that as well. And honestly, those pictures of her and Travis at the football game with that bumpy hair she has and that garish lipstick, she doesn't even look good anymore. She's looking her age. She needs to start dressing her age.
But then she really would just be a crazy cat lady. And then she'd lose all her...
She is.
Then she'd lose all her 14 to 17 crowd. Because she wouldn't... I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Most of the people... I mean, and this is something... Because I tweeted about it earlier today. I'm like, look, let's just be honest. Let's just assume that Taylor Swift is going to have some big influence on the election, which I don't really see happening. But let's assume for a moment that she does. Let's remember this woman, as you just said, has made a pretty large fortune off of putting to music her inability to pick the right partners. So is that somebody we should be listening to anyway? And then somebody, it was actually Darth Aggie, pointed out that anybody that listens to her and votes for Biden was probably going to do it already anyway. So you're right. It probably won't be anything, and I don't know exactly why everybody's kind of all up in arms about it one way or the other. Because especially after I heard her basically call out George Soros. shortly before she started being political about owning her label and her not having any say in it and nobody letting her buy the rights to her own music, etc. And then she finds out that it's been sold out from under her, and she's like, and it's owned by people that I can't even stand. And then 2 weeks later, I'm all in for Biden. I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking you got set up. Anyway, I don't know. Damn it. Stop putting that in the chat room. I hate you.
What?
Somebody's photoshopped Thunberg's head onto a hot body, and it's just disturbing. It's disturbing. Andrew, I already said you were fired when you put it on Twitter the other day. Don't make me fire you again. Anyway. Oh, so yeah, anyway. So I don't know, you probably know more about it than I do. What the hell is going on with this whole Fannie Willis thing? 'Cause she keeps stepping in it. I don't really know what's going on there. Apparently.
Well, I mean, first of all, the whole thing was ridiculous to begin with because she doesn't have the elements of a case that actually prove RICO. So that in and of itself is, just whatever. It's a stupid case. It's all politicized. She's trying to make a name for herself. What she really screwed up with was paying her boyfriend, close to $1 million in taxpayer money so that he could pay for expensive trips and they could shtup.
Yeah, I mean,
she's going to get investigated over that, and it's not going to go well. But my favorite part was her going to one of the big churches down in Atlanta and saying, you can't expect black women to be perfect. I don't expect you to be fucking perfect. I expect you not to be fucking corrupt.
Yeah, you would think. But, what do I know?
This is not about perfection. This is about not being corrupt. That's all. That's it.
So did you hear about the latest thing that she's embroiled in now?
No, what now?
Apparently, back in 2021, she had somebody that was part of her staff come to her and try to point out that one of her direct supervisors was trying to use government grant money inappropriately. So there's a whole recording of this conversation and everything else going on, because this is now the second time this woman has come to her with something like this, and so she recorded it the second time, and basically even after. Fannie basically said, hey, I don't necessarily even disagree with your assessment here, but I'm going to need to look into this a little bit further. And then 3 weeks later, she walked the chick out the door. So now that chick is suing. The tape's been made public, and everybody's like, how long has this chick been crooked?
She's in Fulton County politics. She's been crooked for her entire career. Let's just be honest.
Well, I mean, you can say that. I'm not that familiar with the area, but
I mean, if you're gonna you have to stop and think about the complete chutzpah here. Okay, you're going to go after the former president of these United States on behalf of the Biden administration because your boyfriend has now met with members of the administration and the DOJ. That's the other thing that came out, right? So you're going to do this high-profile case, and you literally hire your boyfriend, who has no experience, and then take trips on the money he makes so you can stop.
Okay.
Did you think on a high-profile case like this that was somehow not going to come out?
Well, I mean, apparently she did. Maybe because she was
come on.
Maybe because she was able to quash that 2021 thing for a while and just thought she was kind of untouchable, and now everything's kind of coming out and it's turned into this giant snowball of corruption, and everybody's like, what?
Oh, she's untouchable, but don't tell her boyfriend that.
Giggity giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.
Apparently she's not that untouchable because, like you said, they took trips and stooped, so... Yeah.
Look,
Well, I mean, it was either that or this one. So I decided to go with the other one. It's like, I could always bust out the inappropriate bell.
The inappropriate bell?
Yeah. I mean, that's what JD used to call it.
Or the giggity, giggity, giggity?
Yep. It was
There you go.
It was a toss up between the inappropriate bell or giggity giggity. So I went with giggity giggity.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, there was another one that said giggity giggity, let's have sex or something.
Yeah, that's this one.
There was a longer one.
Giggity, let's have sex.
That one.
Yeah, that one.
I have that one too. I just usually save this one because
Awesome.
I usually use this one because it's more subdued, and then it's easier to talk over if we need to, and then chat and everybody can still hear it. But anyway,
and that picture of
just fired.
Greta Thunberg is
Fired.
whoever made that should be arrested.
Fired. I don't know if he made it, but I know. I know.
Didn't make it,
I don't know who made it. I know who.
You just found it on the internet.
I know who keeps sharing it. I don't necessarily know who made it, but fired.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, anyway.
It's like that child disturbs me so much. I don't even like to think of her as like anything but a 12-year-old.
I don't know that something about that picture. Every time I see it, just makes my skin crawl, and I don't even know why. Because I know it's fake, and I know it's fake.
Well, it's kind of like the pictures that I don't remember. I don't know if you remember Tony Barbosa always posts on Facebook of animals with human teeth.
Oh yes, I've seen him do that before. God, I hate it when he.
Oh, I friggin' hate that. God.
Yeah, he put one out the other day, and it was captioned Kobe teeth, I think is how he put it in there. But yeah, it was like,
yes,
yeah.
that was it, and he particularly called my attention to it.
Well, you know, you have people that try to get your attention over things because you know they like your reactions, so can't really blame him.
I just stopped reacting to this ridiculousness because why?
I mean, I don't know.
Like, I don't know. Really? My goodness. Normally it's the dogs in here raising a ruckus. Today it was a cat. So, yeah, I'm like, you know, I don't even know if I'm watching the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I kind of have mixed ideas on whether I'll be watching it this year either, to be honest, because I just have zero skin in the game. I'm kind of curious because my ex is actually a fan of both teams, so I'm like, who are you? I was kind of thinking this would be fun because you'd probably be having a meltdown. Which one do I pick? Yeah. But yeah, I have zero skin in the game. I haven't been a fan of the 49ers since like the Sega game with whoever the fuck was their quarterback way back in the day that I can't even think of.
Joe Montana.
There we go. That one.
That's the one I hated. That's when Eli stopped him from doing a three-peat. And I was like, yeah.
I don't know. I
lived in California at the time. I'm just contrary.
Well, we already knew that. Saying.
Yeah.
So, did you hear about Joy Reid's hot mic moment? It was kind of funny, but I don't know if you heard about it.
Oh, I heard. Yeah, I saw it, but now I can't remember what it was.
So basically, she's playing a clip of Joe Biden talking about, you know, if the border package for the Senate gets passed, he would close the border immediately. So while that's playing, apparently she forgot that her mic was hot because she's talking to people off camera and is like, of course, and he's going to start another fucking war, I'm sure. And then I guess they didn't realize it went out at first because like 15 minutes later she came back and she's like, and I just feel like I have to apologize because you guys heard a moment of, you know, commentary behind the scenes because I didn't realize my mic was still on, and we try to keep things PG-13 out around here at least. So I just want to apologize for my language and like not for what she said, just the fact that she dropped an F-bomb. But I mean, Biden's in a mess everywhere. It's weird because even the people that are like
now we have the competing polls, right? So Morning Consult comes out with some poll that shows Trump like leading all the swing states in like an 8-point lead, and then today one comes out from Quinnipiac showing Biden with a 7-point lead. I mean, it's all just such a freaking psyop at this point. I can't even care.
Well, that's a giant circus. That's all it is. But now, I mean, so apparently there's infighting among the Democrats, and there was somebody else that, and I don't remember if I don't think they mentioned his name because they said that he wanted to remain off the record. But apparently, there's a decently ranked Democratic operative within the campaign that is like they can't stand Harris and they really want to replace her, and they have admitted that Joe Biden is in decline. So I don't know. I know I kept saying that I thought it was too late for them to pull a switch since they haven't had their convention yet. I will be really surprised if they don't try to sneak somebody else in. I don't know what that means if we wind up with Trump, but I guess we'll find out.
Well, if they end up with Gavin Newsom, it'll just be endless TV commercials of Trump praising Newsom, because that happened. And if it's Michelle Obama, we're just fucked.
Yeah, I don't really know.
You know, I think Michelle Obama is too into being a producer on Netflix, hanging out with Beyonce and Jay-Z, being up in the vineyard. Like, I don't think she wants to go back to D.C. She might do it for the cause. I don't know. I really don't know. But she's showing up on podcasts. She doesn't have a book. There's no reason for her to be in the public eye again. She's not a good surrogate for Biden because you can tell she really doesn't like him and she really can't stand his wife. So I don't know what's going on with her. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't really know either, but I know that apparently Obama, actually, Barack has already tried to send some donors her way, so I think they are trying to float a trial balloon. I even heard Megyn Kelly talking about it not too long ago. As long as it was only Tommy Lahren talking about it, I kind of considered it more of a conspiracy theory. Now that Megyn Kelly's starting to talk about it, I'm really starting to wonder if there may not be something to that. I guess we will probably find out in the next 4 or 5 months, because they're going to wait until as close to the election as possible to pull the trigger, but they also have to do it before the convention. So I figure it'll happen sometime between probably May and June, if they try to do anything stupid.
I don't know. We're just like, I keep watching Alan Dershowitz's Banana Republic monitor. I think we were up to like 8 bananas. I don't know after these pro-life verdicts if we're up to 9 or not. I'm not sure.
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, he's got the banana. He like measures it by bananas. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we should start putting out a poll.
Now, did I see today that awful attorney for Trump that keeps helping him lose cases is finally gone? I know she's hot. You guys probably like looking at her. And she actually said on TV she'd rather be pretty than smart because you can fake smart. You can't fake pretty. I think that's what she's been doing. But, yeah, it looks like she screwed up something in this E. Jean Carroll case, and I thought I saw somebody saying she resigned. And I'm like, oh, good. Can we find a real lawyer now? Instead of one that just goes everywhere with him that he's probably stupping? I don't know.
I am
no idea. And here is the thing that cannot happen. And because I'm saying it cannot happen, it probably will happen. And so after I rant on this, we can go to a break if you want.
Sure.
So Donald Trump Truth Socialed Kristi Noem's book. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You, Sir Trump, need to win the suburbs. Do you know how you will lose the suburbs? If you pick a homewrecker as your VP. All right?
Well,
her notables are simply this. She stooped Corey Lewandowski, okay, while they were both married. And her legislature stopped her from shutting down her state. She did not keep South Dakota open. Her state legislature did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think at this point he may be trying to pick his VP pick based on stupidity.
Well, Melania's not going back to the White House.
That's what I'm saying.
Rumor mill has it that they may be living separately at this point.
Oh, I think she's already pulling the Mrs. Fetterman card. I think she's already pulling the pin.
No, I think she's probably pulling the Giselle card. You said this was over.
Well, no, I'm just saying I think she's like about to cut and run.
Freaking Magdalenians tweeting out a picture of Barron Trump saying Trump 2048. First of all, guys, this is not a dynasty. I don't want Junior after this. I don't want any of them, okay? And if you think Barron Trump is going to get into politics after all the shit that kid has taken for his dad being in politics, I think you're nuts. Like, why would you wish that on him? My goodness.
Well, it's because, there's so much winning with Trump. Don't you know, Stacey? There's just so much winning.
Winning. We'll talk about that in a minute.
All right. Well, we've hit that point, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take the bottom of the hour break, come back and finish things up. As we continue with the Whatever Show on the other side of the break, again, I'm Rick Robinson. She's Stacey Lennox. You are listening to us live on KLRMradio.com. We are America's Podcast Network. Back in a bit.
In uncertain times, we could use someone to lean on. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma will stand by you with plan options to fit your budget. If you've recently lost your job, had a baby, or moved, you can still get the healthcare coverage you and your family need. Financial help may be available for those who qualify. Call 855-452-BLUE or visit hereforyouok.com to see if you're eligible to enroll. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is, if getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is the Whatever Show. I am Rick. She's Stacy. We do this thing every Wednesday night starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget, up next after us is Toxic Masculinity, followed by the Ladies of the Red Wine. And Ordy and I will be your closing act for the evening on the Rick and Ordy Show. A bit of breaking news before we get back to everything else, because the ATF was already in some trouble today. And if you didn't listen to the afternoon show, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But this is new. I hadn't even talked about this one yet. Apparently, the ATF is under some scrutiny because they've been doing some shady stuff that we didn't even know about. So the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, when did they add the "and explosives" part? Anyway, is under fire after reportedly breaking the law to inflate status and salaries of administrative staffers. According to a Republican Senators Chuck Grassley and Joni Ernst, ATF improperly and deliberately misclassified thousands of administrative positions as law enforcement for decades, costing taxpayers millions of dollars. According to legally protected disclosures made to our office's, ATF management was notified as early as 2018 that the agency's decades-long practice of misclassifying non-law enforcement positions as law enforcement, including leadership positions, was in violation of the law, but ATF failed to take corrective action. Grassley and Ernst wrote in a letter to the ATF director Stephen Dettelbach. Attorney General Merrick Garland was also sent a copy of the letter. The misclassification was brought to the attention of ATF leadership by whistleblowers and was completely ignored. So the whistleblower also alleged 91 misclassified positions OPM identified may not represent the full scope of ATF's illegally misclassified positions. It is alleged that hundreds of ATF employees from across the country were hired under individual position descriptions identified as misclassified. However, a full auditor review has not been conducted to ensure that all employees in their positions are performing law enforcement duties and not unlawfully receiving enhanced benefits and pay at the cost of taxpayer. So, if we know about it, and we've known about it apparently since 2018, why hasn't there been an audit done yet? That's my question, but still.
Who knows? It's basically, I mean, I don't know. Did you watch any video from this WEF meeting?
I watched the one from John F. and Kerry basically saying that it didn't matter anymore who the next president was because there's been such groundwork laid through the WEF that not one president or one administration could ever undo it. That was
you would be surprised, but
that was kind of scary for me to hear him actually saying that out loud, though. I was like, wait.
Well, I'm just waiting for all of these people for their bananas to expire because, like, I'm really tired of people who are literally half dead, okay?
I mean,
deciding what we all are going to do long after they're gone.
I think John Kerry's closer to 3/4 dead, but that's just my opinion.
I'm really tired of it.
But yeah, I get it.
You guys are the ones that ran this shit into the ground. Stop telling us what to do.
hadn't actually heard the video yet, but I read a transcript from like the top dude at like BlackRock that apparently was at WEF and was railing about the fact that Joe Biden was running America into the ground. So,
well, did you hear Jamie Dimon?
I don't think
you got to stop criticizing Trump supporters. He was right about a lot of stuff. Hello, you treated Barack Obama like the second freaking coming. What are you even talking about, Jamie? I mean, is he like itching to be like, I don't know, the Treasury Secretary or something?
I don't know.
Well, Grandma needs to leave. That's for damn sure.
Wait, which one's Grandma?
Janet Yellen.
Oh, okay. Sorry, when you said Grandma, I was automatically thinking of Gam Gam. Nancy Pelosi. It's like,
the worst.
Well, apparently she's
the worst.
Apparently she's decided she's not retiring after all, so that should be fun.
What?
You didn't hear? She's announced she's running in 2024 for a seat again.
You are kidding me.
I am not kidding you.
Oh my God.
Everything old is ancient again. Just saying.
They just won't let go.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I said this on this show last week. I remember when we used to joke about the left screaming that we were trying to push Grandma and Grandpa over the cliff. I'm not joking anymore.
Well, it's just stop.
I mean, at some point they have to be willing to let it go. I mean, you have to start stepping aside for the next generation. I don't understand that. Because, I mean, hell, well, I'm 50.
If you want to listen to something interesting, go listen to Glenn Beck's old special on the fourth turning. They're actually preventing the fourth turning. Hello?
Yeah, no, I hear you. Sorry, somebody's blowing up my phone, so I was making sure it was on silent. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
I'm like, wow, did I lose you?
No, but yeah, no. I mean, they are. I mean, that I honestly am starting to think it's happening by design at this point because it's just like the boomers won't go away, man. They just won't go away. I don't understand.
No,
go away. I mean, look at this. At this point,
part of it, we got to encourage our younger cousins and our children to freaking vote. Like, if you don't want to be led by these people, you have to vote.
Well, the problem that I have with that, and I'm just being completely honest, and I don't know how much of this is being skewed by the people that are putting out the articles, but the number of the below 30 crowd that think the world would be better off if the USSR still existed absolutely terrifies me. Man. I don't like that even being a statistic at all. So I don't know about encouraging our younger folks to vote. Maybe get better educated and then vote. That would be awesome. Which one of the things that I noticed that I'll have an article about this later tonight on the Bill Maher show. I guess hang on. Why am I not suddenly able to think of his name? Dude that wrote Seth MacFarlane. There we go. I was like, I know it's in there somewhere. Was on his show I think earlier this week. Apparently it was like a double header. They had him and like Kinzinger on or something, so I guess they were scraping the bottom of the barrel. But of course he's coming on and talking about the whole Jewish Hamas thing and how it seems like younger voters are turning away from Biden and starting to head towards Trump because of that, and how he hopes that you know everybody remembers that there are other issues on the ballot other than that one. And I'm like, I was an Orville fan. Not really sure I am anymore because up until now it seems like he's kind of stayed out of it. But, you know, it's just, and the funny thing is, it's like anytime anybody comes on and they're even on the fence at all with the whole Hamas thing, Maher's like, bitch slap. And he did it to him too. He's like, oh, by the way, since you don't really know how you feel about this, you're wrong. Which made me laugh, I have to admit. But it just seems like I said, there's just so many different people that are complaining that Biden is bleeding different voting classes. I don't know if it'll matter by November because, like I said, I don't even know who their pick's going to be at this point because there's just so many people now swirling the idea that they're going to have to figure something out because of health issues and knowing Kamala can't do the job either. Because, she was primarily picked because she made Biden seem somewhat cogent when he wasn't as bad as he is now. And now she can't even do that. So I don't really know what her future is other than hiding under somebody's desk soon. Just saying.
I don't know either, but it's just like, we are not sending our best people.
we stopped doing that a long time ago.
But I mean, we are not sending our best people.
Well, I mean, that's because politics slowly started turning into a cult of personality. Now it's all about who can get the biggest following and the most attention, and that's like Cory Bush, who's now under investigation, and is blaming the MAGA DOJ for being under investigation. I'm like, wait a minute. Our DOJ is a lot of things. MAGA ain't it, honey. But yeah, so apparently she had paid her now husband hundreds of thousands of dollars as part of her security detail. And now it's being investigated because she apparently didn't declare it right, process it right or something. So DOJ's coming after her too. For those of you who don't remember, Cory Bush's entire coattails into Congress was to fund the police. So while she's telling you we need less money to police and more money into social programs and social safety nets and everything else, she's paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to make sure she's safe because she has death threats that she has to deal with. And now people are wanting to get a look at that bottom line because they've realized that she's possibly squandered nearly $750,000 that she can't really account for. I mean, I get that corruption's everywhere, and you can kick a rock anywhere in D.C. and find a politician doing shady stuff. But it really seems like it's starting to lean pretty heavily to one side. When it's not Trump, that is. Just saying. I don't know anymore. I'm just disillusioned with the whole thing. Because at this point, I don't know why we haven't already impeached the president, or at least attempted to impeach the president for dereliction of duty for leaving the border wide open. He swore on the
Fair.
He took an oath to protect us from enemies foreign and domestic, and he's basically letting us be invaded because he wants to be the kinder, gentler America. And I think as a pastor, actually as a minister, because I don't have a congregation anymore, but as an ordained minister, one of the things that absolutely just floors me anytime I see it is all the people that think they're good, devout Christians because they start spouting the book of Leviticus and all these other places where it says, treat foreigners in your home country the same as you treat your neighbor. They don't ever, because that's always, Jesus wouldn't like how you treat migrants. Jesus wouldn't like how you treat immigrants. Well, that's great, but have you ever looked at what the Bible says about invaders? Because that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about immigrants. We're not talking about people that are legit coming here to become part of the American dream and make their lives better for the most part and make the country better. We're talking about people that are here for the sole purpose of God knows what, because we don't know, because we don't vet them. And we have one that was on video recently screaming to the camera, "You're not even smart enough to know who I am, but at some point you're going to know exactly who I am." Turns out he's like the number one terrorist for the country that he came from. And we almost let him in. Fun times. When there's something 10 times bigger than 9/11 that happens, after I'm screaming and yelling, there's going to be lots of "I told you so's." Because everything that we put in place to try to make our country safe has been turned on its head for political gain. And now we have a sitting Congress critter talking about how she's Somali first. Excuse me?
Yeah, she's great, isn't she?
Excuse me?
She's awesome.
But yeah, so this is one of the things that I've been trying to talk about for a while, because we have all these people that are coming in, and I guarantee you part of the reason they're letting them in is because at some point, one of their ways they're going to try to offer a path to citizenship is if somebody does a tour in the military or a couple tours in the military. When they come out, they're going to be citizens, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Rome tried the same thing. It didn't work for them either. It ain't going to work for us. When we start having sitting elected officials swearing allegiance to other countries first and trying to bring in foreign nationals to fill our military ranks, what happened to Rome, guys? Because that's what they did. History doesn't always repeat itself, but even when it doesn't, it still rhymes, and we're getting pretty close to the end of the verse. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Again, we're just not sending our best.
Well, I mean, she doesn't even count as our best. I'm not even sure she should have been here in the first place.
Well, yeah. If she hadn't stooped her brother.
Yeah, I had a little bit of fun with that one the other day. I quote tweeted something, and then I noticed Orty had said something similar before I even saw it. But the whole song from South Park was in my head because I quote tweeted her, and I'm like, "Shut your fucking face, brother fucker," instead of uncle fucker. I don't know. It's just at this point,
Yeah.
you can either point.
No, we're not sending our best. We're not importing our best. We're not assimilating anyone. Is it really any shock we have a Somali first congresswoman?
No,
I'm just putting
not
it
really.
out there.
Not really.
You know, I mean, I sit here and I'm looking at my own little town, my own little slice of heaven here, and it's just rather insane. I mean, my local grocery store switched an entire aisle to bring in products from South America and brands from South America and Central America. That's how many people have come to my ex-urban community. Well, I guess we're now technically a suburb, but it's how many people are living here. I have spray painted taco trucks. So they're food trucks, but they're spray painted with words like tacos on the side. Every Saturday, there's homemade cardboard signs on the road going up to the road that you turn to go to my house about pupusas being for sale. I had never heard of pupusa before. Apparently, it's kind of like a cross between a taco and an empanada, is what I get, but I'm not 100% sure. There's a bunch of new small markets emerging that have very, very typically South and Central American signs in them. I mean, the way they advertise their products is very different than ours. It looks very kitschy. We've got stores that sell everything from cell phones to clothing. My little suburb sections of it are really starting to look a lot like things you would see south of the border.
Fun times, ain't it?
Oh, it is.
Yeah, no, we have like a whole little Mexico in South Oklahoma City now. It's fun. It's been that way for a while. It's even worse now, though.
Oh, I know. But listening to like Kathy Hochul and Governor Pritzker and the mayors of these big blue cities losing their minds is just very edifying to me. And I'm looking very forward to the Civil War kicking off on the Texas border.
Yeah, I mean, we're already in a cold Civil War now. I mean, counting Texas, 25 other governors have basically been singing the song of our people all week. Fuck Joe Biden.
It's going to take one stupid hothead on either the federal side or the Texas side down at that border. We should all pray that it does not happen.
Well, I mean, yeah. So first of all, I mean, honestly, everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's going to be a standoff between Border Patrol and Texas National Guard," and yada yada yada. Border Patrol is already basically behind the scenes saying thank you to Texas for doing all the shit that they're doing, because even their union was like, "Those barriers are making our job easier." And then Kirby is like standing on the stage at the same time the union president for the Border Patrols saying those barriers make our lives easier. Well, we have to cut them open so they can have access. And he's like, well, what do you need access for? So they can do their job. And he's like, but their job is to protect the border, and the barriers were helping do that. And that was pretty much where that conversation ended. And I just, it's one of those things where after listening to this stuff over and over and over again, one of the things that I have noticed is when everyday Americans talk about border security, they're thinking of very specific things. When Democrat elected officials talk about border security, they're talking about ease of access, turnstiles, and concierge staff. That's not what you and I think of when we talk about a secure border, though. We're talking about, physical barriers to make it harder for people to get here illegally. And I'm even okay with streamlining technology to try to make it easier for the people that are trying to get here legally and be vetted faster. I'm okay with that stuff. Those are things that we should be talking about. But this whole idea, and I'm still waiting for the bill, by the way, because one of my senators keeps screaming up and down that everything that we're hearing about this Senate bill isn't true and that there's no 5,000 a day quota, yada, yada, yada. But that bill was supposed to be out yesterday, and I still can't find it anywhere. So, again, if what Senator Lankford is saying is true, and that there's no way that he would support a bill that lets over 1 million people into the country a year when what he's trying to do is close the border, where's the bill? Why can't we read it? I listened to you on Monday on a local radio show here telling everybody that the text for the bill should be out by Tuesday or Wednesday. And it's Wednesday, and I can't find it. I don't hear anybody talking about it, except for the things that we already know that apparently make it a really stupid bill. And then you also have the issue of, even if everything you say is true, what makes you think that Joe Biden is not going to just take the victory lap on the Ukraine funding that he talked you guys into passing and then do business as usual? Because he doesn't need any special powers to secure the border. He already has everything he needs to secure the border. He just doesn't want to do it because he doesn't want to do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, he just sits there and lies. I mean, that's nothing new.
I mean, and I get it. Impeachment would go nowhere, even if it managed to get through the House. But why are we not pushing the issue of dereliction of duty for allowing an invasion? Because that's what he's done. For the last 3 years, the border's been wide open. Completely wide open. So,
well, and I mean, we can all point to the executive orders where he opened it.
But you listen to him talking to the press.
Like, to sit there and say now, I don't have the tools I need. Like, you think we're stupid.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, a good portion of the people that listen to him apparently are pretty stupid, because there's lots of people that are parroting that same thing. This is on the Republicans. But look, the other thing that I want to point out is the same thing that I pointed out when Donald Trump had to fix the border through executive order. He had control of everything for the first 2 years. He couldn't even build consensus within his own party, which is another reason why I'm really concerned about him being a lame duck from day one, should he happen to miraculously win the White House again. But that being said, Joe Biden had control of the whole enchilada for 2 years. If they were really wanting to do some sort of meaningful border reform, whatever that means to them, they should have been able to do it in that first 2 years. But they didn't. You know why they didn't? Because this has been a political football from both sides for so long that now everyday average Americans and a lot of governors are pissed about it. And they're like, fuck it. We keep sending you people to D.C. because you keep saying you're going to fix it. You're not going to fix it. We'll fix it. And that's why you have 26 governors that are ready to go to war, because they're just tired of the bullshit. And a lot, and
well, I'm kind of hoping those 26 governors do the same, line up with DeSantis again. When he's putting through the state legislature Article 5 legislation that calls for term limits in D.C., balanced budget amendment in D.C., those things don't have to originate in Congress. They can originate in the states.
Yeah, well, most people don't know enough about it.
So let's get it done.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I completely agree. But, yeah, most people don't understand enough about how our political process works to know that states can actually push ideas into the Congress as well.
Well, Governor DeSantis just laid it all out. That's what he and the legislature are working on during their legislative session. And, Florida GOP, get a new leader. Get a new leader. If your leader of the Florida GOP, our newest, deep red state, was seriously considering going on Laura fucking Loomer's podcast, okay, you need a new leader.
All right. Well, believe it or not, we are up against hard break. Where can folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter at ScottsFire, generally at very odd hours.
All right. You guys know where to find me, and I'll be back in just a minute when we reset for the Toxic Masculinity Show. Bye, everybody.